Hi, my name is Lloyd Norman. I'm the Vice President of Strategic Solutions at Temperature Resource by Prosymmetry. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to spend the next 5 to 7 minutes talking about how to choose the best start date for new portfolio work. With that said, let me dive right into the Tempest Resource Planning tool. If you're going to be starting new work, the first thing you have to do is size the work, meaning go out, talk to the subject matter experts that are actually going to be doing the work, representatives from the teams or roles, and make sure that you line them up on either your epic or project and determine exactly how much effort it's going to take. So let's open this. This new model here that they want to start. Either the epic owner or the project manager has already gone out and done a good job of getting sizing estimates from key players. Enterprise architecture, for example, a generic role, various people on here with different skill sets. The mechanical team, the technology team. These are teams with different velocities, by the way. And one of the nice things that automation will do for you is it will allow you to take teams of different velocities along with generic roles and people, map them all on a common timeline for your epic or your project. You can do this not only for a specific epic or project, but also for any sort of portfolio, a product portfolio, or the overall enterprise portfolio. So sizing your work is the first thing you need to do, and it's important that you do it by team and role, because if you do it by art or just by project, it's helpful for budgeting, but not particularly helpful for resource planning, as it's always particular skill sets that gate delivery, perhaps not necessarily an entire art. So once you've sized this work, now we need to go into the modeling tool and figure out, well, where do we place that in our existing in-flight portfolio? This tool here shows for the next year what's planning on starting, where are resources, which I have organized by organization, and then role, which is sort of synonymous with skill set in this particular example. And you can see the projects or epics up above and the skill sets down below. Here's the interesting thing about something like the federal products art, if you will. If you look at this, it appears that things look pretty all right. We've been out here playing with the model, so I'm going to clear the model and say, okay, let's see how things as they really are. Hey, we still look pretty good from an art perspective, but oh boy, again, when you break it down by individual skill set, hey, we're in trouble out here. And we're about to add more work to this effort, which is going to really exacerbate this challenge. So the first thing we want to do is let's go ahead and take this new work, and we're going to include it in our model. Again, this is a snapshot of production data. This is coming right off of your production roadmap, and you're able to model against it with no impact to production. It's very slick. But we can see already that, hey, as you might guess, some of our teams are clobbered. In fact, you can go out here and see not just your teams that are clobbered, but realize, oh my goodness, there's a lot of other skill sets out here that are being hammered by the addition of this new work. For example, this analyst SME. Before this work was introduced, they were already at capacity. Now they're at 140% capacity. So one of the benefits you get from modeling is to be able to see the interactions between all the roles that are on a particular epic or project or initiative, if you will. And you'll also see that interaction as we decide to adjust these work efforts downstream. So let's go back to our federal products art and say, okay, let's take a look at some of this stuff. I can't move my KTLO work or really adjust that. But I know that the Hypersonics 2025 initiative has actually been pushed out to near 2025. And you can see as we push this out, it dynamically updates this work down here. Let's take a look at the technology team. Again, list SOX 2 review. Let's take a look at pushing that out, because that's actually going to slide 1 quarter. Now we're starting to get somewhere. If we in fact decide that we really can't push anything else out, what we might want to consider is what's the impact of adding additional people onto our team. So let's say between now and roughly a year from now, we add 1 person onto our team. You can see it drops the overall capacity allocation substantially, right? So this is something that we should really consider. I know that we love to work with fixed teams, fixed resources. But if there's a huge benefit to this, we need to be at least having that discussion with the executives that are sponsoring this work. If we want to see where we might be able to start this work sort of optimally, we can also go in and let the system go in and say, hey, let's pick a project here, and let's take the opportunity to say, what happens if we decide we want to start it with like about 50% of the resources that are needed? Oh, look, it gives us all kinds of dates here. And if we decide we want to wait until in the middle of next year, look, we're still going to be hammering Chris Ortiz. So we should talk about that, right? But it does give you a number of options based on our proprietary nonlinear optimization algorithms. What we suggest is that program managers, product managers, LPM managers do this whenever they introduce new work into the portfolio. They should be doing this kind of analysis as part of the lean business case, going in and giving the business executives a reasonable expectation of when, over the course of the next 12 months, we might actually see value delivered associated with these capabilities. All right, we could go on. I would invite you to join me out at prosymmetry.com. Reach out to me, Norman at prosymmetry.com. We have lots of customer testimonials. We actually have hundreds of customers around the globe that are using these kinds of techniques to improve their adaptive portfolio delivery. Would love to continue this conversation with you. Thank you so much for your time. Bye now.